Screamers, welcome to the first official 2017 video review. My name is Lewis. I am the webmaster and owner of FrightTour.com, and I am the person behind the screen and keyboard when writing those long, drawn-out, fantastic, unbiased, truthful, and detailed reviews that you see every year. This year, we thought we'd change it up a little bit. Instead of writing out our reviews, we would put them into video format. So the first official stop on our 2017 Fright Tour is about a 3-hour drive from home. It's in Scranton, Pennsylvania, at Reaper's Revenge. We have been receiving numerous requests to visit this attraction as it is deemed to have one of the best hayrides, and overall it's a scary attraction. The requests came in from many, many readers, so this year we thought, why not add it to our 2017 Fright Tour and give it a whirl? Of course, as we get there, it begins to rain, and we start worrying that the hayride will be closed due to weather. Luckily, the rain lets up, and the hayride continues, and we begin our journey through Reaper's Revenge. The attraction boasts 4 separate attractions, including the hayride, a pitch black attraction, an outdoor attraction, and then a wooded trail through a carnival. So we began our night with the hayride, of course, and as you know, reading many of my reviews, you know that the hayrides that we've been on are more of an entertainment approach rather than a scary approach. Hayrides have so much going on around them that it's kind of hard to pull off as a truly scaring, horrific hayride. So going into this, we keep an open mind and kind of tone ourselves down in the sense of being scared, because we know that hayrides are hard to do that with. However, this hayride was a very enjoyable hayride, and mainly because of the set detail and the ideas that were surrounding the hayride itself. The creativity in this hayride was great. Some things that we've never ever seen, and a unique twist that happened at one point that I'll go over, but it was actually something that we've never seen done before. Actually, 2 things that we've never seen done before while through our, tours and everything. If I seem like I'm stuttering, this is the first video review of the year, I'm sorry. But it's kind of hard to do this, ad-lib. I don't have anything in front of me, so don't mind me if I start rambling. Anyway, moving on. The hayride had some really nice touches. There was one part in particular that I really liked, and it was this gigantic pumpkin head scene where there were towering stick figures with gigantic jack-o'-lanterns on their head that flickered. It was really beautiful, and I know that's kind of weird to use during a hayride, but it was. And in fact, the entire wagon, everyone's head was pointed up looking. It felt like this would have been the perfect opportunity for an intense jolt of a scare, but nothing came. And I get if that's the approach that you want to take, where it is something that you want to make mesmerizing and inspiring and beautiful to look at, then that's fine, go with it. But I felt like here is where everyone's head's up, so it's the perfect opportunity for actors to kind of sneak in and jolt the wagon. Perfect opportunity, but fell a little short to me. That's where I was looking for the scare. I'm not gonna lie, I was waiting, and that's how I caught everyone looking around, because I was like. But throughout the hayride, it seemed like creativity was the main aspect of this hayride. The facades of the sets themselves, the actors, the storylines that they had were really, really detailed. It felt like a thought-out idea throughout the entire hayride itself. However, I would say that the Thrasher villains that were scattered throughout, including Jason, Michael, and Samara from The Ring, I'd get rid of those. To be honest with you, those feel like fillers, and they really don't fit the hayride itself. With the level of creativity that's in there, they really have served no purpose whatsoever to the hayride itself. But we get pulled into this little security bunker, and things go on, and then from there it becomes a walking style attraction where we walk through a dark wooded trail. After about a 5-minute walk through the woods, we come up to our first walking attraction, Carnival of Lost Souls. This attraction was set in the woods. It was kind of unique because I had never seen a carnival-style attraction set in the woods itself, but let me tell you, this was probably my favorite attraction of the night. The fact that Paul and his crew had a Ferris wheel, a merry-go-round, and built a small portion of a wooden coaster, as well as games to kind of complete the vision. It was just amazing. The attraction itself, as you know, for me, is terrifying because I hate clowns. The attraction had some great actors in it. amazing actors, especially the actors at the games. They stopped you, they wanted you to play things, they wanted you to throw balls, they wanted you to do this, that. It was kind of cool. Something I'd never seen before at a haunt where someone went that detailed. But the actual attraction itself was pretty scary. The actors inside were relentless. They did not let up. They were laughing. They were screaming at you, talking, teasing, taunting. It got to the point where at some parts I just wanted to kind of hit the exit button and walk out. There were some points where the actors would put you in like corners and close a door behind you, and then you're standing there and you're like wondering where you go. You're pushing on the walls, you're trying to find your way out. The only thing I will say though is that, sorry I have a zip tie, that I feel like there should have been some kind of fog, maybe. I felt like with the neon lights, the music, the loud actors, that fog would have kind of made it a little bit more scary. I understand that in an outdoor style attraction it's kind of hard to fog, but there were portions of it that were enclosed that you went through. There were some really good scares in there, most notably the teddy bear room. And then at the end, there was another portion where this guy came up behind me and was whispering, and I thought it was Joe, and I turned around and he's like right next to my face. That scared the crap out of me. Definitely a great attraction to experience. I mean, you have to experience it because it lets out from the hayride, so you have to go through it. So if you don't like clowns, sorry, you have no other option. But then we came to a stop and we waited in line, and I was wondering what we were waiting in line for, and a wagon pulls up. And for the first time ever, a walkthrough attraction was in the middle of the hayride. We completed the first portion of the hayride, went through Carnival of Lost Souls, and then got back on the wagon to finish the second part of the hayride. During the second part, you're facing the left side of the hayride in the woods in the distance. All of a sudden, all at once, these red lights pop on, and they're eyes. They're all eyes. I remember the entire right side of the train going, oh. It was the most awesome thing I have ever seen in my life. I think what would be a really good idea, and Paul, take notes, is that maybe instead of making all the lights pop on at one time, having maybe the lights randomly turn on. Like every like scattered around, like turning on. I felt like maybe scattering it and then having one of the eyes maybe run towards the wagon. So if you get the opportunity at the second part of the hayride, definitely sit on the right side facing the left side, because if you don't, you'll have to break your neck to turn and see the red eyes and them turning on. Oh, how could I forget the creepiest part of the hayride? I know I said that hayrides are really for entertainment, but this hayride actually had something that really creeped me out. The I'm So Lonely part, it was during the beginning portion, before you get out and go to the Lost Carnival of Souls. I don't know if that's the name. I keep saying that. I think I have to reference it and look it up. But I don't want to give anything away because it would ruin the creepiness for you, but it kind of reminds me of The Strangers, and his face, the way he smiles, what's surrounding you, the music that's playing. It really creeped me out, and it was actually something that we were talking about all night. So definitely look out for that. I hope it creeps you out as it creeped me out. Leaving the second part of the hayride, it was now time to enter the pitch black attraction. For me, this attraction wasn't scary, it was just unnerving. And the reason why is because when you take eyesight away, your other senses come into play and everything gets heightened. And one part that did was the sound part. There were parts that were very quiet, so you kind of listen to hear if you can hear shuffling, if you can hear any noise ahead. But then there were parts where sounds from the actors, the music, the ambiance, I guess you could say, was just so overwhelming that I actually got to the point where I wanted to get out. Not being able to see and hearing all of these sounds was a complete overload for me. This was probably one of the best pitch black attractions we have ever been through. Everything about it from the last detail was amazing. There were some nice touches that I felt on the walls itself that I've never felt in another attraction before. So I don't want to give anything away, but I will say this: if you're afraid of the dark and you don't like loud noises and you don't like being touched, pitch black might not be something for you. You can bypass it and just go right to Sector 13, which is the last house of the night. It had a lovely facade of, it looked like we were going into a contamination center where there were odd creatures, aliens, zombies, and we had to escape. To me, this attraction was the least favorite of the night, and the reason why is because the level of detail in it was amazing. I mean, the sets were awesome, but I feel like the intensity that they had in this one kind of lacked a little bit. This one kind of felt short because of the the immersion that was in there, where you were stopped. I had a turkey carver put across my chest. Joe was shoved in a cage. There were points where we stopped and go'd. There was one part where the girl in front of us, her boyfriend had to go completely through by himself, and then she was left with us. It was a very cool attraction. However, I felt like we stood around waiting inside more than walking. And when we did start walking, we got bottlenecked because of the amount of people that they let through at one time. It felt very crowded in there, and then not very long. This one felt kind of short. Still a good attraction, still great sets. The acting in it was awesome. There were some decent scares, but to me, out of the 4 attractions, it was the weakest of the links. So I would definitely try and see if there is a possibility of you finishing with Pitch Black, but again, I don't know if that's the possibility. So overall, Reaper's Revenge was definitely a success. It was a very good attraction. The crew is amazing. The acting is probably one of the best we've ever seen. I would get there. Reaper's Revenge definitely is a high-end haunt with a lot of creativity. We really enjoyed ourselves, and we want to thank Paul and the crew and Heidi for everything that they did, welcoming us and making us feel welcome, very hospitable, and all the people that we met, including the Baltimore haunt crew that we met as well from Baltimore. We really enjoyed it. We hope you guys did too. We hope that you guys enjoyed this review. Please let us know what you think of Reaper's Revenge if you've experienced it yourself in the comment section below, and we hope to hear from you guys, and we hope to see you on the trails, and happy screaming!